What's up, Celtic fans? What's going on? What up, GD? What's up, man? What's up, guys? What's up, Connor Burke? What up, Darkness? What's up, guys? What's up, Bryant? How you doing, guys? What's up? So this is going to be for Celtic fans to just come in here and vent, guys. Y'all are more than welcome to come in here and vent it off. Yeah, it's no bueno, man. Yeah, I think we're all depressed. I think we are all depressed, man. I think we all are. This is no good. This team has got to make some changes, and they gotta make. Somebody's got to be held accountable for this. Someone's got to be held accountable for this. Heads got to roll. Denny, Brad Stevens, they got to get together and they got to fix this. They have got to fix this. They had no answer for Bam Adebayo. By the way, guys, the chat's going too fast for me to even see. But thanks again for coming in, guys. We got all sorts of issues, man. We got all sorts of issues. This is a tough one. I'm actually in my car, man. I drove to the here. Hold on. Let me turn the light on. I'm in my car, guys. I drove to the waterfront, and I'm smoking the last Celtics cigar of the season. Smoking the last Celtics cigar of the season. Disappointing, man. Disappointing, Celtics Nation. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Such a bad taste, man. Nitro, I hear, man. I don't know about you, Nitro, but I drove right to the store. Oh, dude, like I needed it. I needed a cigar. I needed something to just. Such a bad taste, man. I don't know how you feel, Nitro. This is just, man. We should have been us in the finals, dude. That should have been us facing LA. That should have been us, Nitro. You know, that should have been us facing the Lakers. Such a bad taste, man. I do remember you, Joseph. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, guys, this one's just for Celtics fans to come in here and vent it off, man. Come in here and vent it off. We have got to. That should have been us, man. That should have been us in the finals. Sucks. Just sucks. Just sucks. Such a bad taste, man. The inability to close down the stretch is killer. The inability to close down the stretch is killer. Hey, Ted, what's going on, man? What's up, buddy? It should have been us, guys. That should have been us in the finals. That sucks. What's up, man? What's up, man? Yeah, Vegas. No, man. The Heat beat us, dude. They beat us. It does, Coach. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks, man. So that sucks that's going to be the last basketball stream, the last Celtics stream. That sucks. That should have been us, man. That rivalry between us and LA is legendary. That finals, a Celtics-Lakers finals would have been awesome. It just sucks. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it just sucks, man. Such a disappointing way to go out, you know? At least I wanted a game 7 to at least give us a shot. You know what I mean? At least give us a shot. Get it to game 7, so at least we have a try, man. The inability to close at the end of the game is killer. That inability to close at the end of the game was brutal. They have got to do something to fix this, though. They have definitely got to do something to fix this. The people got to be held accountable. Kemba underachieved. He underachieved. Tatum at times was real good, but then at times was just terrible. Once again, Tatum, the whole first quarter, scored nothing. Tatum gave us nothing in the first quarter. 0 points. 0. It took him halfway through the second quarter to get going. It took him too long to get going, man. Tatum in this series, you know what happened? Tatum in this series showed his age. That's what happened. Tatum in this series showed his age. It's a young team. They don't know how to they just have to learn how to close, man. They just have to learn how to close. They were up by 8 points with like 5 minutes to go. Yeah, Nitro, no, I completely agree, dude. I completely agree. They were up by 8 points with 5 minutes to go, and they couldn't close it out. It's just disappointing, man. The youth, the age of the team just showed. The age of the team just showed. He just wanted it more down the stretch. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, I've been saying it for 2 years. I've been saying it for 2 years now. The Celtics need an athletic big man. They have got to make a move. They got to make a move for an athletic big man. They have to. That's the one weak spot on this team is they have no presence down low. I'll probably watch the finals, but I probably won't stream them. I'll watch them, but I probably won't stream them. If the Celtics aren't in it, it really doesn't interest me, man. I'm not going to be as into it. It's just how I am. If my teams aren't involved in a game, I'm just not into it. I mean, luckily we still got the Patriots still playing, so tons of Pats content is coming to the channel. It's just sucks. It just sucks. We need to make some moves. We have got to make some moves. They got to do something. They have to do something. They can't just. If Danny Ainge just stands by and does nothing, that's a problem. That's a big time problem. It's that's a big time issue. We can't just sit and do nothing in the offseason again. They need to make a move. They're this close. They're this close to the finals. They're right there. They're right there. You know, they're not far away from getting to the finals. They're a player away from being there. They're a player away from the finals. They need to make some moves, though. I don't think this team is going to look. I don't think this team is going to look the same in 2021. I think there's going to be some serious retooling of this team. There's going to be some serious retooling in the offseason. I think there's going to be a lot of moves made. I really do. I think there's going to be a lot of moves made. We got to get more talent on the team. We're a player or two away from competing for a championship. They did win. The Patriots did win. Yes, they did. Sorry, guys, if I'm missing stuff. The chat's just going by really fast. but that we have got to make some moves. Kemba disappointed me. I don't know how you feel, Celtics Nation. I really don't know how you feel, guys. But Kemba disappointed me. He did. Kemba disappointed me. Kemba did disappoint me. Him and Tatum, they were real good at times and they were real bad at times. Like you can't win a title by not scoring any points in the first half. You can't do that. Like, what's up, Alex Sports? What's up, man? What's up? Who's that? The Sports Opinion. What's up, man? What's up, guys? I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. The chats go by real quick. Kemba was a disappointment to me. That was tough. The Kemba Walker not really showing up for a lot of these games was real tough. That was a tough one. You know what's really frustrating to me, guys? Here's the most frustrating part about it, right? Here's the most frustrating part about it. When we need Tatum, Kemba, and Brown, so mostly just those three, but you can throw the rest of the team in there too. When we needed the team the most, they let us down. That's what's frustrating. We needed the team to come together and close that game out. They were up like 6 or 8 points with 5 minutes to go, man, and they couldn't close it. Hey, Nitro, you're welcome, man. You're welcome, buddy. I love you, bro. Thanks for the dono, man. Thanks for the dono, fam. Much appreciated. You the man. That's the most disappointing part about it, is when we needed them the most, they let us down. That's the saddest part about it, is when we needed them the most, they let us down. We needed Kemba, we needed Tatum, we needed Brown, we needed guys to step up tonight, and they just couldn't. They just couldn't. That's the most disappointing part. We were depending on guys to show some grit and show some mental toughness, and they were up and they just couldn't close it out. That's the most disappointing part about this. What's up, Anonymous? What's up, man? Hey, Bryant. That's good, man. That's good. You're lucky. Celtics are good, man. You're lucky. You're seeing them when they're right on the verge, man. Give it a year or two and they'll be back. He's good. He's sleeping, Asia. Cat's up cold. He's sleeping. We're close. The Celtics are very close, guys. They're a player or two away from making a run at a title. They're close. They're very close. It's just they just like I said, that's the most disappointing. It's maddening because we were right there. We were right there. We were 5 minutes away from it, man. 5 minutes away from Game 7, and they just couldn't close. And we really, as Celtic fans, we can't blame this one on the refs this time, because this game was called, it was called days. This one was not on the refs. This was the Celtics. This was the Celtics all the way, caving in the final minutes of the game. This was in no way, shape, or form. We can't blame this one on the refs, Celtic fans. We gotta just, this was our team just caving under the pressure. I mean, like I said, Danny and Brad Stevens got to sit down, and they got to really, the front office of this team has to really do some thinking, because we're close. We're very close. Also, I'm putting some of this on Brad Stevens too. The Heat, what the Heat did to us is not simple. It's not hard. It was a 3-2 zone. The whole series, 3-2 zone. That's all they played. And Stevens had 6 games to figure it out. I mean, so Brad Stevens doesn't escape this either. Brad Stevens does not escape this either. It was not a hard defense to figure out. It was a 3-2 zone, but they executed. But the Heat, where the Heat get credit, is they execute that defense, that zone defense, at an extremely high level, and the Celtics just couldn't handle it. So part of that's coaching. That goes on Brad. That's on Brad. We're 2 players away. We are 2 players away. Stevens wasn't good in the Raptor series either. As much as the refs tried to screw us in the Toronto series, Stevens wasn't good in that series either. Stevens wasn't good in that series. Like I said, this is just a stream to let Celtic fans come in here and just vent it off, man. Just vent it off. Get that frustration out of your system. It just sucks. It sucks. This has been a tough year for Celtic fans. This has been a tough year for us. But the front office has got to go to work. Front office has got to go to work now. They should be getting to work right now, or as soon as they wake up tomorrow morning, they should be going to work. It's helping a little bit, Luke. Helping calm me down. But yeah, the Celtics front office has got to go to work. They've got to. I don't think this team is going to look the same in 2021. When the season starts back up again, there is no way, shape, or form that this team is going to look the same. And if it does, the front office has failed us. If they're going to go into if the Celtics go into next season with the team looking the same as it does right now, then we're going to get the same result. We are going to get the same result as we did now. They have got to make some changes. They got to bring. They're 2 players away. They're a solid bench player and a center away. Those are the 2 moves that we need to make. They're a solid bench scorer and a center away. Those are my opinion. That's my opinion. What we need on this team to go to the next level. What do you think, Celtic fans? That's my thoughts. I think we need a center that can score, a 2-way center, and a bench scorer. That's what I think we're missing, because our bench right now does not give us much outside of Brad Wanamaker and Robert Williams. And those 2 guys are 50-50 at best. We need a bench scorer and a center. That's in my opinion, that's what we need. But I mean, that should have been us, man. We should be getting ready for Game 7 right now. The Celtics absolutely collapsed down the stretch. Vegas, they got to draft a center, because our centers right now are not good. Defensively, they're okay, but scoring wise, they're not good. Scoring wise, they're not good. Neither one of them can put up double. All I want from a center is 12 points. If I can get 12 points out of a center, I'll be good. 12 points a game, 8 to 12 points a game, and Cantor and Tice can't do that for us. I want a center that can put up 12 points a game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Luke G. Two players, dude. We're 2 players away. We're 2 away. See, Nitro, Taco's got the size. His size is great. What Taco needs to do is put 20 pounds of muscle on and work on the stamina. If we could put 20 pounds of muscle on Taco Fall and get his stamina up, because right now he's too slow for the NBA. He's too slow. That dude needs to be bigger, and faster. If we can get those 2 things out of Taco, we'll be all right. But that's, like, he's too slow right now. But the size of Taco Fall is there. I like his size. It's great. But he's got to get better. Yeah, Nitro. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, put muscle on him. We gotta get his weight up. We gotta get his weight up and his stamina up, and then then we'll talk. Then we can maybe talk about stuff. Putting Taco, regularly as a bench player. Right now, he's just too slow and he's too skinny. But I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of, as a Celtic fan, I'm getting tired of these experiment guys. I'm getting tired of them drafting these experiment guys. Brad Stevens is not Bill Belichick. Brad Stevens is not Bill Belichick. He's simply not. He's not Bill. You can't draft a C+ guy and turn him into a B+ guy. Brad Stevens is not that dude. He's a good coach, but he's not that guy. Taco Fall to me was an experiment. That was an experimental pick. Like, the Celtics like to hoard all these picks. The Celtics like to hoard all these picks. They take six picks and they don't package them together and do anything with them. Like, we have this Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens in the front office got to do better. They owe us better. They owe they owe this team, man. The front office has got to do better. If they have a chance at a legitimate stud this offseason, they got to go get him. They got to go get him. They have got to go get him. That's my thing. If they have a shot at a guy, they got to go get him. Embiid needs to get more mentally tough. If Embiid wasn't so mentally soft, I would take Joel Embiid. The size is there, the strength is there. Joel Embiid needs to work on up here. That's where Joel Embiid is. Joel Embiid's issues are not size, strength, and ability. It's all up here with Joel Embiid. If he could ever get right in his mind and get his mind focused and not be so mentally soft, he would be really good. He's got all the attributes: size, speed, agility, shooting. He can do all the stuff that you need to do, but he's just mentally soft. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, Karam? What's up, man? I mean, that's my take on Embiid. If Embiid could ever get right mentally, I would take it. I would take Embiid if he could ever get right mentally. But that's all. It's all. Like I said, it's all mental with Embiid. I mean, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but this team is really young too. Jaylen Brown's 23, or Tatum's 23, Brown's 22. Team is still really young. I'll give them, I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's part of it too. They're just young, and they caved under the playoff pressure. And, here's what really pisses me off too. Those two young guys showed potential, what they could be. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum showed great potential at times. They brought Kemba Walker in here for the consistency, to be the locker room guy, to set, to be the locker room guy, and to turn Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum into the closers of this team. And Kemba this year has failed at that. He's failed at that. And Kemba, again, Walker didn't show up in the biggest moments either when we needed him. Like, these guys it was just one disappointment after another. It was just one disappointment after another. We brought Kemba in here to make Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown better, and he didn't. We brought him in here to mentor the young kids and to make it so what happened doesn't happen. And he failed there. That's on Kemba. Kemba's job as a veteran leader was to make sure that these guys stay mentally right, stay mentally focused, stay in the zone for playoff basketball. And that's where Kemba failed. That's where he failed. What's up, James? What's going on, man? I mean, I'm no basketball expert, but I know why they brought Kemba in here. They brought him in to be the veteran leader and to do exactly what I said. They brought him in here to make Kemba, to make Tatum, Brown, and they brought him in as a mentor, and he failed. That's where he fell short. This, Kemba's got to do a better job. So that's where he's got to be better. Like I said, it's just the one word that just sums up this whole playoff series is just disappointing. They underperformed. Nitro, see, that's true too, man. That's true too. Kemba's never been here either. The lights are brighter. The pressure is 10 times more in the playoffs. Kemba's never been to the playoffs either. That's part of it too, Nitro. That's a good point, man. That is a good point. Kemba's never been here either. I will say this though. This town, Boston, this city demands. It's the bar is set way up here. This is Boston. You perform here, and when you don't perform, you're going to hear about it from everybody, the fan base, the media, And Brad Stevens, to me, coached a little too light. Stevens is too light sometimes. Sometimes you need to really, sometimes you need to chew into these guys and get into them a little bit. That kind of pissed me off a little too. Like that kind of irked me too. Brad Stevens was a little too light on some of these guys, I think. Stevens was a little too light on some of these guys. So that kind of got me too, man. How Stevens, I understand he's a calm, cool, and collected coach, but sometimes you got to get into these guys a little bit and tell them, you're better than this, pick it up. It's just like I said, the main word I can come up with this season is just disappointing. Just disappointed. They underperform, man. They mowed through Philadelphia, swept them, mowed through the Sixers like they were nothing. The Sixers were absolutely nothing to us. That was freaking light work for the Celtics. The Sixers were light work for the C's. That was nothing. And the first two games, that's what I'm saying, Nitro. You gotta get into these guys a little bit, man. You gotta get into them a little, you know. It was like that whole friendly coach stuff. It kind of gets old to me after a while. I'm old school though, you know what I mean? Like shit, like Bill Belichick will yell at anybody. Shit, he got on Tom Brady in practice and ragged his ass if he didn't perform. Like Brad's got to get on Tatum and Kemba and these guys and get on them a little bit, you know, like push and poke them a little. Like I don't know how you guys feel, but as a Celtic fan, if we go into next season making no changes, I'm not going to be happy because we're going to have the same end result. We're going to have the same end result. We're going to have to move some pieces, whether the fan base or the coach or the GM like. We have to move pieces in the offseason. We have to get a center that can score. Bam Adebayo ate the Celtics up today because they had no presence down low. Adebayo ate the Celtics up because there was no defense down low. None. Like the paint, there was no resistance driving to the hoop from them at all. No resistance. They need a big man to stand in front of that hoop and say, you're going to have to go through me to get to this hoop. And the Celtics don't have that. Tice is not big enough. Tice is not big enough to do it. He's not big enough. He's a smaller center. Cantor has the size, but he's too skinny. He's not built enough to stop people from driving. We need an athletic big man down low. We need an athletic big man down low to stop people from driving to the hoop so easily. And a big issue that I have with Kemba Walker, right? Here's a massive issue I have with Kemba. If Kemba's not going to perform offensively, all right. If Kemba's not going to perform offensively, okay, that's one thing. But you better get your ass back on D and go swat someone or go steal the basketball from somebody. Marcus Smart, even when he has a bad offensive night, that dude will make 4 to 6 key defensive plays to keep the Celtics in it. That is why we keep him on this team, because in crunch time, Smart can make that defensive play that we need. That's the big reason why Marcus Smart is still here, because he can get, even when he's not shooting well, he'll get back and play defense and make a steal to keep the Celtics in a game. Kemba gives us nothing defensively, and he gave us nothing on offense either. Like, come on, Kemba, you gotta be better, dude. You have to be better. That is not acceptable. If you're gonna have a bad offensive night, then you better play D to make up for it. You better. You know, if they're going to have a bad offensive night, they better play defense to make up for it. You can't, it's not that's unacceptable. He's terrible on defense. Kemba's awful on D. You know, it's not good, man. Walker was a disappointment this series. Kemba was a disappointment this series. He let me down, man. Kemba let me down. I'm sorry to say, it, but he did. Kemba let me down. Kemba let me down. At least Jason Tatum has the Jason Tatum has the excuse that he can say he's only 22. At least Tatum has that. He can say, at least, that at least you could say that he's young. Kemba does not have that youth excuse. Walker does not have that youth excuse. There is no excuse. There's no excuse for Kemba being like that. We can't. The Celtics in a big time playoff series can't afford that. We can't afford that. Like that's one thing that drove me absolutely crazy this whole playoff series. Kemba, when he wouldn't show up on offense, he wouldn't show up on defense either. Like, at least Smart would give you one or the other. Like at least Marcus Smart would give you one or the other. Like I said, the Celtics front office better get to work. They better get to work, because we cannot go into next season with the team looking the same. We can't. It's not good enough to win a title right now. It's not good enough to win a title. I'm sorry if I'm missing everybody, guys. I'm doing the best I can. I'm on my cell phone. The chat is moving a mile a minute. The Heat targeted Kemba in the last 5 minutes. Whoever Kemba was guarding, they gave the ball to. Kemba was the target of the Miami Heat the last 5 minutes. Right? Go and watch the replay, guys. Go watch the replay. Watch the replay and watch the final 5 minutes of that game. Watch the final 5 minutes of the game. The final 5 minutes, the Miami Heat went after Kemba every offensive time. They went after Kemba every offensive time. They moved the basketball around, and when they got the mismatch on Kemba, they drove to the hoop, because Kemba is not big enough to stop them. Kemba's not big enough to stop. He's not strong enough to stop an offensive drive. He's just not. He's just not strong enough. They purposely moved the ball around to find where he was on the court, and they exploited that matchup every single time. They exploited Kemba's lack of defense every single possession in the last 5 minutes of that game. The Celtics were up 6. We're up 6 points with 5 minutes to go, and they could not close it out. They could not close it out. That is unacceptable. They should have won that game. The Celtics should have won that game. There is no excuse why we should not be getting ready to play Game 7. There is no excuse why we should not be getting ready to play Game 7. We should be playing Game 7 right now. Kemba was terrible on defense that final quarter. That fourth quarter, he was awful on D. Walker needs to be better. Walker needs to learn how to play D. Facilitator. Rondo. Nitro Online, if you're listening, you know this. Nitro, if you're listening to this, I guarantee you know what I'm talking about. Rajon Rondo, when he knew his shot was not dropping, what did he do? All he did was pass the ball around. When Rajon Rondo was on this team and the Celtics won in 2008, when his shot was not falling, that dude would have 16 assists a night, and he would facilitate it to everybody else who was shooting. Kemba did not do that. Kemba did not do that. That dude pissed me off this whole playoff run. When Rajon's shots were not falling, he would be an assist monster. Nitro, and if you guys have watched any of the Lakers series, Rajon Rondo, playoff Rondo is fucking insane. Playoff Rondo is a different Rondo. That dude comes to play in the playoffs. That's the biggest difference, right? Like if you're not going to give us anything on defense, Kemba, fine, you know, but at least facilitate the ball, you know. Rondo had 6. There was one game in the 2008 finals where I think Rondo had 16 or 18 assists. Like it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like if Kemba does not show major improvements next year, it's time to move on, dude. It's time to move on. He was Nitro. He was an assist machine. Rondo, when his shots, see, Rajon knew when he was on shooting and when he was off shooting. And on those off days, he would become an assist monster. And his vision on the court was freaking insane. Rajon Rondo sees the court better than a lot of people do in the NBA. Like, playoff Rondo is a different Rondo. And, like, Kemba couldn't do that. Kemba could not do that. Through this whole playoff run, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Like I said, it's just disappointing. You bring a guy in like that. You bring a guy in like Kemba to do one job, to make sure these young kids stay focused and on goal. And he couldn't do the job we brought him in to do. He couldn't do the job we brought him in to do. So, like, what's your purpose, Kemba? What is your purpose? If you couldn't do the job that we signed you to do, like, is it time to get somebody else? I don't know, but clearly Kemba was not ready for the playoff lights and pressure. He just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. I mean, that's from what he showed us. That's what I gather. That's what I gather. He just wasn't ready. I mean, I don't know what you guys were seeing, but that's what, from calling these games in this playoff run, that's what I saw. No, see, Brad Stevens is part of it, JD. Brad Stevens is a part of it because the Heat's defense was not anything spectacular. It was a zone D. It was a zone defense. The whole series, zone D. And they couldn't beat it. They could. The game 3, they drove to the hoop and they beat the Heat's ass. They drove to the hoop and they were aggressive. Like, Brad Stevens needs, I don't know if the guys weren't listening to him or what it was, but that's his fault. If he lost the locker room and guys weren't listening to him, that's him. That's you, Brad. You know, that's on you, man. That's the coach. The way to beat that zone is to drive to the hoop and get everybody in foul trouble. But they couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. There's a lot of stuff that the Celtics got to work on. There's a lot of stuff that they got to work on. Hey, yeah, I, I, like JD, I talked about Hayward earlier. Dude. It's all mental with Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is 1,000% healed. None of this is physical with him. Gordon Hayward, none of this is physical with him. Gordon Hayward is all healed. That ankle that he snapped is all healed. It's all up here with him. Mentally, he just can't get over that injury. Ever since the injury, he's never been the same. He's never been Utah Hayward. Never been Utah Hayward since the injury. And Brad Stevens and Denny Ainge need to have serious talks about trading him. Serious talks. Hayward either. It's a cigar, Asia. It's a cigar. Hayward either needs to show me massive improvements next year, or he's out of here. The one thing that What's up? What's up, hype? What's going on, man? The one thing that pisses me off is that Gordon Hayward is Brad Stevens' little pet, little teacher's pet. It pisses me off. Hayward needs to be held accountable too. And if Danny Ainge needs to go to Brad Stevens and be like, I don't give a shit about your feelings. Hayward sucked this series, and if he doesn't show major improvement this year, ship his ass out of here. I mean, the personal feelings toward Gordon Hayward need to be put aside. That shit's got to be put aside. Take that out of the question. Take that out of the, put your personal feelings toward Gordon Hayward aside. It's all mental with him. Danny Ainge does need to do that. He needs to go to Brad Stevens and be like, fuck your feelings. You need to address this problem correct way, and you need to go to Hayward. Hayward needs to show me massive improvements next year, or he's out of here. I've had it up to here with Gordon Hayward. Like Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens need to seriously sit down and talk. They have to. They have to seriously sit down and talk. Changes on this team need to be made. They're not far away. Malcolm Brogdon. That's not a bad one, JD. Brogdon's not bad. But changes have got to be made. They have got to be made. If we go through this I don't mean to be a broken record, guys. I really don't mean to be a broken record, but if we go through this season again, if we go through this offseason again and make no changes, it's just not gonna happen, man. Like we're so close. We're close. We're one or two players away. We're one or two players away. I really am tired of the personal feelings towards Gordon Hayward need to be set aside. The personal feelings towards Hayward need to be put aside. Like Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens need to make some tough decisions this offseason, and they need to get this team right. The young core is there. Smart will take for the defense. I know he's a pain. I know he's a royal pain in the ass sometimes, but his defense in the clutch is phenomenal. Tatum, Tatum, Tatum can improve, and Brown. Those are the three that I would not touch. Tatum, Brown, and Smart. But everybody else, Gordon Hayward, all of them, everybody's on the block, man. Everybody's on the block. As long as we hold on to those three players, I think we'll be all right. But like I said, some serious discussions need to be had. I'm going to give Hayward one more year. One more. And if I don't see any improvement out of him, if I don't see serious, significant improvement out of Gordon Hayward, it's time to go, bro. Sorry, but you need to pack your shit and turn in your Celtics jersey and get out of here because you're not helping the team. I should be the Celtics GM. I told you if I was the Celtics GM, or if I was Brad Stevens and Marcus Smart was shooting all those threes, I would just have this extendable little stick, right? This extendable little rod that would you know I would be able to like put it in my back pocket. It would start out like 6 inches long, and it would extend out to about 2 feet, and there would be a big rubber hand on the end of it, and I would just extend that bitch and smack Marcus Smart right in the face every time he shot a stupid shot, and pretty soon he would learn to just pass the fucking ball. Like he has got to be the most frustrating Celtic to watch. His defense is phenomenal. It is. His defense is on a different level every year. Every year, that dude is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Every single year, his defense is phenomenal. His shot selection is terrible. It is awful. That dude, Smart is one of the most aggravating Celtics to watch. You love and hate him in the same game. You love and hate that dude in the same game. And he, as much as we don't want to admit it, he is the heartbeat of that team. That dude loves being a Celtic more than anybody on that whole team, which is the saddest part about it. That's the thing that gets me the most. Marcus Smart loves being a Celtic. That dude loves this team more than anything. He loves being a Celtic, but he is the most frustrating person to watch play. You can love that dude and hate him in a matter of 10 seconds. That dude, he is the most frustrating Celtic to watch. We need him though. To be 100% honest with everybody, we need that dude. We need a dude with some edge, with some attitude, that's going to be barking at the other team for a rough foul, or go over and shove a guy for being too rough with his teammates. Some of these Celtics guys are too fucking soft too. Marcus Smart's edge I like a lot. You know, Tatum needs a little bit of that edge. If you gave some of Marcus Smart's attitude to Jason Tatum, it wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean? If you put some of Marcus Smart's attitude in Jason Tatum, it wouldn't hurt. Dude, I would take Rondo back at this point. I would take him back. Play it like playoff Rondo. Rondo cranks it up a notch in the playoffs. That dude was phenomenal when we had him. This is just so disappointing, guys. Just so disappointing. We should be getting ready to play game 7 right now. We should be getting ready to play game 7 right now. We should have won that game. We should have won that game. The Celtics should be the one playing the Lakers, not the Heat. The Celtics should be the one playing the Lakers, not the Heat. Celtics and Heat just isn't going to have the same vibe. Celtics and Lakers is a freaking legendary rivalry. We hate each other. I hate those purple and gold schmucks so much. We should be playing the freaking Lakers in the finals. Boston and LA is a legendary rivalry, and the fans, we were robbed of that shit. We were robbed of that opportunity to play those purple and gold bastards in the finals. What's up, Pat 1984? What's up, man? We were robbed of that. The fan base was robbed of that. What's up, Valhalla? What's up, man? But I'm just disappointed, guys. More than anything, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm just disappointed, you know? I wanted game 7. I wanted game 7 so bad. I wanted at least a chance, man. Just a chance. Just give us one game to decide who goes to the finals. I can't believe they blew that 6-point lead. Can't believe they blew that lead with 5 minutes to go. 6 points, 6-point lead, and they caved, dude. They did it again. They caved again. That is the most frustrating thing. They caved again. This time it wasn't a double-digit lead. It was single digits, but they couldn't close. The Celtics couldn't close it out, man. They caved. They caved again. Just disappointing. Just disappointing, man. That's the only word I can put to it. Just disappointed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm missing a lot. The chat's going too fast. Pat, I don't know if you saw any of that game, man, but the Celtics had it, dude. The Celtics had it. They had it. They had it and they blew it. They had it and they blew it. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. I don't know if you watched any of it, Pat, but they blew the game, dude. 6-point lead with 5 minutes to go, and they couldn't close. Couldn't close. Just sucks. I hate ending this. I hate ending the season on a sour note. If the Celtics went down fighting, if they lost by 2, if they lost by 2 points in a close game and they battled the whole way and everybody left everything on the court, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be live right now. I would just, they were just beaten by a better team and they fought the whole way. They didn't. They blew it. They rolled over and died and caved under pressure. They rolled over and died and caved in. Sucks. Absolutely sucks. Just sucks, man. I hate going out like that. I really do. I hate going out like that. Yeah, cigar pet. I am. I actually got to plug my phone in. My phone's at like 6% right now. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah. It just sucks. Just sucks. There's just no, there's no other word to say. It's just disappointing, man. It sucks. I think I'm going to end this, guys. My phone's about to die, but once again, Celtic Nation, always next year. Always next year. Hopefully the GM and the front office make the right moves, and hopefully they make the right moves, and we can get back in next year. But I think that's going to do it for me, guys. All right. Y'all have a good night. I will see you on the next live stream. Once again, guys, thanks a lot for all the support. Sucks that we don't get any more Celtic games, but I will catch all of you guys on the next stream. Y'all have a good night, and I am out of here. Peace.